Welcome to Wild Child Records. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan. You're in for a special presentation today on Wild Child Records as we have Brandy Wind Band. We have Brandy on today. I want to talk about the innovation of how music has evolved from the 8-track to the tape to the CD to the iPod to in all the different platforms that we've seen come and go, like Napster and now Spotify and Anchor and all these different platforms. So stay tuned. You're watching a special presentation of Wild Child Records. We'll be right back with Brandy from the Brandy Wind Band. Welcome back to Wild Child Records. On the show today, we have Brandy, a musician all the way from Seattle. Brandy, tell us your band, please.
Yeah, I'm the lead singer for a band called Brandy Wine, and we are a pop rock alternative band, I guess.
And of course, I pronounced their name wrong.
It's okay.
Again, sorry about
that. It's
Yeah.
okay.
So we were talking off camera, and it's very interesting because now you've been in the industry for a little bit, but you know all the ins and outs. You got the scars, you got all the contacts, you've been through in and out every door. I wanted to talk to you and get your feel on how the music has evolved from way back where the days where people didn't give their music away for free. Which I don't as an entrepreneur, I don't get that, but let me hear your perspective, Brandy.
It has definitely changed, even from when I first started in the music industry. It used to be that you sold CDs, you went and you did shows and you pushed it and you sent those physical CDs to the record stations. And if you were lucky, they'd listen to it. And if they liked it, great. That evolved into memory sticks and then emails. And now we've got things like Spotify and YouTube Music and iTunes. And you really can't go to them much anymore. They come to you. If you have enough plays, if you have enough views and followers, then they pick up your stuff or they'll ask for it. And it's kind of the same thing with even charting with music. It's no longer you're out there and they just look to see who's doing what and where and when. It's you have to be sought out and asked, hey, do you want to do this? And then you have to be invited just to be allowed to have a chance at it. So it's gotten kind of crazy.
I remember guys like, I don't know, let's just say Glenn Fry and Don Henley, they said, we would go around to the DJs and beg them to play our songs. And one DJ would pick it up and then another DJ, he goes, that's kind of how it was done. You would actually go banging on doors with your EP releases or whatever you had, and you beg them to play it. So which way's better? What do you think?
Or you bribe them with pizza. You know what? I kind of miss the old way. Back then, as long as you put in the work and you put in the effort, people would at least give you a chance. Now, you can't even find the radio DJs or who the programmers are anymore because they're all interlinked and hidden behind larger companies. One radio station is actually 12, and they're all owned by one conglomerate that basically controls everything that's heard and everything that's done. So smaller indie artists really don't have a chance.
So let's talk about the major platforms now. Like I know, so what are they? Spotify, you would know better than me. So you tell us the platforms that you use.
So there's right there. Yeah, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube Music is now a thing. Now there's TikTok Music. There's Deezer. The list is infinite. There's like 50 stations that I distribute to.
So take us through an overview of the process and how do you make revenue? So take us through that. How would you do? What do you do? What do you do now? Go ahead.
There's not. Honestly, when it comes to streams, there's not a lot of revenue to be made. Let's be real. Um, Someone like Spotify pays you 0.003% of a cent per stream. And then in addition to that, if you have anyone that listens to your song 100 times, they're going to count that as one play. So they're going to take your count and they're going to back it up. Uh, Spotify does this to prevent super fans, basically for any indie artists.
Wow.
It also keeps them from having to pay out what to do, because as artists, we don't get paid for those 99 other streams, but they're still making money off of the people who paid to hear it during that time, the advertisements that were played and that they had to listen to, and the list goes on.
So the days are gone. So I'm in a studio with my band, and I just finished recording our next album, right? So I don't want to give this away for free. Like, I just spent, I don't know, 6 months and time and resources and money, and I don't want to, like, so what do you do? Like, what do you do?
Unfortunately, things like Spotify and iTunes are necessary evils. Just to get gigs, a lot of venues will look off of those numbers to see what kind of a pull you have. They also now factor in your social media accounts like Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, to see if you have a strong following. And then, honestly, the only money you make anymore is through one of two ways: shows, where you can sell merch, you can sell CDs, you can sell, if you're really that popular, experiences with getting to talk to them, give autographs, and then your marketing side. So you need to go into the publishing side of things and actually try to get sync deals. So getting the music in commercials, getting the music in ads, getting the music in movies. That's the only real way for musicians nowadays to make a decent amount of money.
So you're saying, let's just say I was a professional musician, according to me. Okay, let's just use me as example. So I just, yeah. So I was in the studio.
You're an indie artist. You're not.
I'm an
signed to a large
indie artist,
label.
and I think I'm pretty good because my mom tells me I am. Okay, but I think I'm pretty good, and I'm going okay. So I was just in the studio, like I said, 6 months. We did an album. I put all my resources, and I decide to no. I'm not going to give this CD to anybody for free. I'm not giving it to Spotify. I'm not giving it. I'm not giving it to my manager. No, you want my music? I don't have a manager, but you gotta buy it. And I have a friend of mine who likes my music, who has a venue.
Okay.
Okay, so he has a venue, and he says, "Yeah, I'm gonna hire you to play my 50th birthday party, and bring your CDs." Does anybody do that and say, "No, I'm not putting my music on live. I'm going to go to get a gig, and I'm going to sell my CDs at the gig, and I'm going to promote my music online myself"? Do people still do that?
I would say getting the gig, any gig outside of your friend, is probably not going to happen if you do that. Unless you are touring like nationally and doing this full time 24/7, and even then you're not going to make enough probably to live off of.
No, I'm not asking. Yeah, to make enough off to live off. That's another. That's another. That's
totally
another. That's
topic.
another level. That's another level. But I'm just thinking, like,
you can sell your CDs through Bandcamp. They'll give little snippet clips so that you can hear a part of it and see if you're interested, and then you can choose your price for your singles and or your CDs. The same thing can be done through Amazon Music. You can choose to sell only, but again, that's something you're going to have to go through and set up, and it's going to be all independent. Having a large distributor, they're not going to do that for you.
Now, could you do this? Because I imagine putting a CD together costs money, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I don't know how much money, because I've never put a CD together, but I'm sure it's going to cost you a few $1,000s, right? It's going to cost money, right?
It can cost
artwork,
it can go depending on how serious you are on it. You got to remember mixing, mastering, having a producer, recording studio. If you're doing it in home, it can be on the cheaper side, but if you're doing it professionally, you can spend as much as $10,000 per CD.
So could you do this too? Could you say, so my buddy has the venue, but I didn't put together a CD because I just don't have $10,000 to put that together. I just don't have it. But I got all the
Right.
singles, and the guys want me to play the venue. Would there be a way to sell? So you play the venue and you happen to have 20 songs, right?
Okay.
You have two albums, whatever. You have your old album, you have your new album. You have 20 songs. And someone says, "Hey, I really like that fourth song that you played. I wonder if I could get that song off you. Could you shoot them that single song for free? Like, not for free, like, okay, here it is, buy it." And like, so instead of selling an album, sell off your singles from your venues that people are coming and listening to. Yeah, I like that. I like to buy that song.
If you have the proper setup to record your live performance and then download it, yeah, that is an option. A lot of people don't have that equipment where they're recording
No,
all of
no, I
their
don't mean.
instrumentation live, though.
No, so what I was thinking at, like, I got all my songs because I recorded all the songs in my studio. So maybe I already did put together a CD.
I was gonna say you have to have something then.
Yeah, so I have all the CD, I have all
Okay.
the songs in back of my studio. So I'm at the
Okay.
live venue and I'm playing my music. And like I said, somebody says, "I'd love to get that fourth song of the gig off you." And you got all the songs at home. So what would you do? Just sort of, email them the song for a fee, right?
You would tell them, okay, well, this is how much it costs. Here's how you pay me. I'll send it to you. But you also have to be careful because even venues themselves, they don't always allow you to just sell whatever. Some of the venues we've played, they take a percentage of our merch or our CD sales, and that's part of the contract. So we don't even get 100% of that.
Okay, I'm just trying to be a little innovative. Like if I was a musician and I wanted to, well, and if you have a daytime job where you're not trying to make, you're not relying on your gigs
Right.
to pay your bills, that might be an option for an artist who just says, "I'm not giving my music away for free because even if I don't sell any of them, it doesn't matter because they're not going to pay my bills anyways. I got a full-time job." I'm just trying to think how to sort of get back at the industry, right?
If you're going to go that route, I would say go to Bandcamp, because they have the best setup for freelance or at home studio type things. Set your price and then just have something on you that says, okay, here's my Bandcamp site. You can download and pay for any single you want. No overhead. They directly load it to their computer or to their phone. There
And,
are some other platforms that are trying to do something similar, uh, to get the things away from Spotify and Apple Music and all that, to so where the artist gets like 80%, but they're just not at a point where they're gonna be feasible. And if I'm being totally honest, they probably won't be up and running at a proper point probably for another 5-6 years,
and
because it's
how
going to be a lot
about
of testing.
a la Justin Bieber promoting yourself on YouTube with your own YouTube page?
Yeah, but again, you're giving your stuff for free then, because all
Oh
they have
yeah,
to
yeah,
do is
yeah,
listen
yeah,
to it
yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
That's a good point. That's a good. I guess
Although
you can
you
give a little
can
taste though, right?
monetize,
Yeah, you can
you
give a little
can, yeah,
taste.
you can give them like little snippets or whatever, and you can promote wherever you're selling your singles. And if you're lucky enough to get enough followers on YouTube, there's also monetization. So you can monetize the site for ads and they'll pay you for people listening to your music. Same with Facebook. I don't make a ton off of that, but you get so many comments and likes per month or whatever, and they do pay you. I've seen some people that actually make a few $1,000s a month off of that.
We need to start a trend of old school. Let's go back to the way it used to be. You want music, you
Yeah.
buy it,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
And it was hard when there were gatekeepers. That's when the labels really meant something, because they controlled what went on, the airwaves. Um, but they had quality control. The people really worked hard to do it.
yeah.
You sold your soul to do it, but you still, it was the foot in the door. So then you had the audience that once that contract was up, you could freelance if you wanted to and be fine. But yeah, platforms like Spotify and iTunes and things like that, now people go on, they pay them, and they
Yeah.
just take our music, and we have to pay to put it up there.
That's such a shame. I know. Just to let everybody know, we're a live studio right now, and we have our cat here. She must be enjoying our conversation because she
Hi,
is a
kitty, kitty.
music. She is a music kitty, so just to let everybody know, it's our live studio. This is great. Like I love talking industry because especially with musicians, because you guys live and breathe it every day. And I just, I hear things, and I remember the Napster, and I remember all that kind of stuff. And do you remember who the first musician, like name musician, who decided to give their music away for free?
I
I
don't
wonder.
think I don't think it was a musician who decided it. I think that music was already being pirated,
Oh, okay.
and people like the people who had up Spotify was like, well, we might as well make something off of this.
That, yeah, maybe, it was coming though. The dam was broken, and you better jump on or you're gonna miss it.
Yeah, yeah.
Why don't we take a break? And I'd love to hear if you have any updates regarding your Seattle event coming up. Okay, so
Sure.
stay tuned. You're watching Wild Child Records. We have Brandy from the.
Brandywine Band.
There you go. I let her say it. Stay tuned. You're watching Wild Child Records. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Money Mike checking in from Atlanta, Georgia. You are watching the showcasing abilities. Now you go and live your dreams like I'm living my dream right now, being on the show.
Welcome back to Wild Child Records. We just did a little bit inside baseball when it comes to the music industry on how musicians today are trying to make a living. Like, oh my goodness, unless your name is Taylor Swift or I don't know, it's hard out there. So, speaking of events, let's talk about your Seattle event. So, do you have any updates or anything to share, exciting news or anything like that, Brandy?
Well, our next gig is going to be in Seattle at the Orient Express. We're going to be partnering up with 4 other bands from the area: Hard Time, Motormouth, Undying Noise, and Punching Grumpy. Which I
Oh, nice
love the name.
names.
I love the name of
Yeah,
that last
nice
one, 'cause
names.
I just see the fists going towards like the 7 dwarfs.
Yeah,
But anyway, yeah, so cool name. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing that show. That's from 7 to 11, and then, or no, I'm sorry, 7 to midnight. We go on at 11.
nice.
Yeah, we're the closing act, so it should be really fun. Um, Again, our big event that we're really trying to push and get out there is our November 16th show. It's going to be at Real Art Tacoma. We're partnering with Project Die Hard, so they're going to be getting a part of the proceeds that are brought in.
Nice.
And they are a 501c3 helping support veterans and getting them reacclimated to civilian life with counseling and job placement training, all that good stuff.
Wonderful.
So it's a chance for musicians to make a little bit and then, give back as well. And we are going to we're bringing in some kids to kind of, I kind of feel guilty teaching them to stick with this industry a little bit. But School of Rock in Kent, their high school band, they're going to be, rock band is going to be joining us and opening the show.
Oh, wow.
We have got The Warning, which is a female-led Black Sabbath tribute band.
Ooh.
They're going to be performing. We have Megan Story, who is a very popular local band / singer-songwriter. She's amazing. She's going to be performing. And then our Master of Ceremonies is actually a gentleman that some people might know if they've been to Vegas. His name is Michael Cagle. He won Best of Vegas like 5 times in a row
Nice.
for performing. He's a singer-songwriter. and just all around like really entertaining person. So he's going to kind of run things for us and introduce bands and entertain them in between, and it's going to be a great time.
So he's your MC kind of?
Yep. He's going to be our MC for the night. So
that's great. Is Big Records involved in this, or just Big Records through you?
Just me. Yeah, I'm the one kind of doing it. We are hoping that Big Records is going to put together some kind of a concert series coming up.
Yeah.
And then there's the Invictus Games in February, of course. So
well, keep us posted for your event regarding November, as obviously we're going to be promoting it. We'd love to be out there. Unfortunately, we're just on the other side of the country, but I'm sure, well, Big Records out there. So hopefully you'll have lots of support out there, and we'll be talking before then, because that's still a couple months away. I really enjoy you being on the show today. If people want to find out more information about your band, Brandy, where can they go?
Best bet is to come to our website at www.brandywinemusic.com, and it's BRANDIWYNE. Or you can check us out on my label at bigrecords.world and go under artists and just click on Brandy Wine.
That's great, Brandy. Again, Brandy Wine Band was on the show today, not the other name.
We get called Brandy Win a lot.
I know.
It's okay.
It's just when I see the WY, it's just the wind comes to my mind. But yeah, so Brandy Wine Band. Stay tuned. I'm just going to come back and do a few updates and wrap the show. Brandy, again, I really appreciate you for being on. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Wild Child Records.
Would you like to donate to our employment programs? Please follow the link below to donate through PayPal. All proceeds go to our programs.
Love is the only way. Love is the only way. Love is the only way. Take a breath. Let it be alright. Take a breath. Let it be enough right now. Let this moment be what it is. Let this moment be your doorway to bliss. Seeking love, 'cause it's seeking you.
I was born to ramble, not made for standing still. Seems like where I'm bound is always over one more hill. And I'll go the extra mile for you even when the going's hard. God gave me a trucker's heart. Hey, this is Marie Norris. You're watching the Disability Channel, showcasing ability.
Welcome back to the show. On the show today, we had Brandy Wine Band. There you go. Brandy was great. She's got a great event out in Seattle. She's a big part of Big Records. I just want to give people a couple updates. Again, we have our fundraiser slated and confirmed for October 12th. Dave Rave from Teenage Head is going to show up. Freedom Train. Hopefully Fraser Newcomb from the East Coast, a veteran. What a booming voice. House is going to be packed. It's a free event, and this is in all honor of our veterans. So we're showcasing the Canadian veterans from coast to coast, and we would appreciate any type of donation that goes towards our employment programs and media for veterans via our Ontario government partnership. So again, I'm Jay Stoyan. You're watching Wild Child Records. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for being a guest. We will see you next time.